Hey guys, today I'll show you a horror film called The Dare. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie starts one evening where the young father Jay Jackson is playing with his two young daughters, Poppy and Molly Jackson, while telling them a scary story. Later that night, Jess, Jay's wife, stops him from continuing the scary story and tells the girls it is time for bedtime. During that time, Jay has a conversation with Jess about a conference that could set their family up for life. However, Jess dismisses it as she wants the father to spend more time with his daughters. This scene portrays that Jay wants to give his family the best life they can live, while Jess shows more important for family bonding and is already content with the life they live as of now. As the conversation ends, Jess heads straight downstairs to have a glass of wine, while an ominous hooded figure stands by the window, possibly harboring malicious intent. This foreshadows horrific events to come, or maybe he just wants to greet his neighbor. As Jay heads downstairs, he looks for a book that he previously promised to read for his daughters as a bedtime story. While calling out to Jess for assistance, Jay senses a presence outside of his house, but he dismisses it. Jay informs Jess that he will look for the book inside the family's car. While Jay goes out, he calls out and asks Jess if she has seen the keys to the car. After looking for the car keys and not finding anything, Jay returns to the house's main door. To his shock, he sees that the door to his house is open. Then, loud noise is heard from the kitchen where Jay rushed towards. Jay sees one of his daughters on the floor with his wife unconscious inside the kitchen. Then suddenly, Jay hears a scream from his other daughter. Worried about a home invasion, Jay brandishes one of the kitchen knives to protect his family. Jay rushes towards his daughter's bedroom, only to hear the door behind him slam shut. As he approaches his other daughter hiding under the bed, a set of feet magically pops into the background and Jay notices it. He gets ready to fight against the intruder, only to get knocked out, and as his daughter screams, the scene fades to dark. Jay wakes up in a basement, frantic from the sight of a half-naked wounded man. He worries about his family. The strangers welcome Jay to the place that they call Paradise, and the woman asks him if he saw anything on the way inside. The two other unknown individuals calm him by saying that his family are not the hooded figure's targets. A man introduces himself as Adam and the other woman as Kat. The scene then cuts to a boy sleeping. The boy is having a nightmare of himself trapped, wounded and naked with a brand showing on his left wrist. The nightmare wakes the boy. The room is shown to have a mountain of pig heads that adds to the creepiness of the atmosphere. Just then, a creepy uncle opens the door to the room and approaches the child to give him a piece of mystery meat. The creepy uncle warns him to behave well, or he will go back to the room the kid dreamed about. As the man leaves, he says to the boy that this is his home now. The next day, the kid is playing in a tub of red liquid that seems like water. The kid runs back to cleaning the place when he senses the creepy uncle coming back. The scene shows that the place is some sort of slaughterhouse, and as the uncle finished his butchering, he gave the kid something that looks like intestines for the market. But the kid catches it poorly and is then showered in blood from the slaughterhouse. The creepy uncle talks to the kid about his parents abandoning him. The kid is upset, and the creepy uncle becomes a father figure to him. He seems emotionally manipulative towards the kid as he treats the kid submissively. After the flashback scene, Jay asks who the possible culprit of the kidnappings is. He slowly walks over to the wounded man to see clearly that the man could not talk because his mouth is sewn shut. Adam then introduces the mute man as Paul, whom Kat weirdly named after her cat. Kat states that Paul doesn't talk much. She probably thinks that Paul is just tired. Jay then asks where Adam and Kat are before they are brought to Paradise. Kat first states she was in a parking lot at night. Adam says that he was working a graveyard shift before his kidnap. Jay notices a bucket with blood. There is also blood on the ground that must have been there for a long amount of time. Suddenly, Kat's vibes become creepy. She seems like a crazy woman. Kat says that the slaughterhouse is her playground. Jay is in denial because he might have been kidnapped for being bad, and says that it is a mistake as he is a good person by donating blood and doing charity. I believe a psychopath culprit would never care, and has standards on who will be in its playground. After Jay's rambling of being good, he asks Adam and Kat if they ever talked to the culprit. Adam sarcastically states that he hugged it out with the culprit, and he gave him flowers. Then Jay tries to find a way to escape. The film abruptly cuts to a scene where the young kid is going to a secret location out of curiosity. The kid is called out by his creepy father by his name, Dominic. The father felt like he wasn't taken seriously during their lunch. The father disciplines Dominic by stabbing his leg, while Dominic is begging for mercy. As the scene cuts to Paradise, we see a glimpse of Mr. Piggy overlooking the captives. Mr. Piggy signals for feeding time, and mystery meats descend onto the bucket. We then see the hungry and deranged-looking Adam and Kat race for the meat. Kat is still somewhat sane. She at least shares the meat with Adam and weirdly looks at Jay. Jay then says that they are like the culprit's pets, and they might have probably been trained for a long time because they salivate on the raw meat. Jay is then warned by the two to comply, or else he becomes like Paul for disobedience, but Jay states definitely that he will escape or die trying. Knowing that this is a horror movie, the scene offers more anxiety rather than reassurance. After a while, as Jay tries to loosen his bindings embedded in the wall, we hear the discussion of Adam and Kat dissing each other for their lacking, while Jay gets a keychain from Adam, which he uses to lockpick the bindings. He sadly fails and tries again digging the wall with his nails. As he is digging through the walls with his nail dislodges out of his finger, giving him immense pain. This sound really irritates my ears, and it adds to the pain that the film is showing us. After the painful scene, Jay then gets warned by Adam, who also experienced losing his nails before. Jay dismisses his warnings and goes about to find a bone that he uses to dig. Adam strongly urges against his idea, as it would make the culprit insane if he was caught. Jay states that they are insane, and as he is digging further, he gets provoked again by Adam. Eventually, he finds a skull of something similar to the size of a child. A new scene appears where Dominic is seen observing his new father while cleaning the hallway. His father trims out a piece of skin from the pig head and startles Dominic. The new father starts giving life advice while playing chess. This was sound fatherly advice as it was referenced from their game of chess, but the father is still emotionally manipulative. As his father is asking him a question, the father gets angry and becomes sick afterward. Dominic takes the opportunity to run away, only to be stranded in an isolated, remote area within a forest. Dominic recalls the words of his new father, then comes around to accept his fate and nurse his sick father. After that event, Dominic and his new father have a closer relationship. After a series of father-son bonding, Dominic grows curious about the secret room his father goes to. Dominic then has a goal of becoming big and strong. He promises his father not to leave him and become strong. The father later brands himself to feel more connected to Dominic. As the father is sick, he has a religious conversation about letting blood leave out of bodies to cleanse the evil. The father orders Dominic to stab him in the shoulder, and the father becomes proud. The scene switches to paradise as Jay suddenly notices a camera in the dark corner of the room. Jay provokes a big and muscular man with many exotic items and creatures to fight him. Jay prepares to face that man and regrets his words. A towering behemoth tortures Paul. Kat is ordered to do the torture. Jay is also ordered to torture, but he resists in vain. He tries to stab the culprit, protected by a thick suit of muscle. Jay gets knocked out. As punishment for Jay's disobedience, Kat is forced to ingest exotic food by Adam, and she coughs up blood. Another flashback occurs of young Dominic celebrating a birthday. His father gets mood swings and eventually hugs Dominic. The scene switches back to the present, where Jay attempts another escape with a razor blade from before. Adam lashes out at Jay for these futile attempts like Paul did. The culprit comes back and has a staring contest with Jay. Jay rushes out to escape and admits he cannot win. The culprit attacks Kat as Jay continues his escape. Jay finds an unstable vent that breaks down. Jay presses the reset button and sees Adam and Kat traumatized from the encounter. Paul tries to tell something and gets dismissed by Adam. As soon as the culprit returns, Adam is ordered to knock out Jay and pin his wrists to the wall with nails. A dream emerges in Jay's head, where he sees his wife and him having a funky hormone game. But a jump scare ruins the passionate act. Jay wakes up bound to the wall with his arms he cannot feel. As he removes his wrists from the wall, he hallucinates about his wife encouraging him to escape. Kat opposes the idea of escape. Then Paul tears his sewn mouth open to speak of the brand on the culprit's hand, which is soon to be discovered as the same brand from Dominic. Then Kat remembers a childhood memory with young Jay, Paul, and Adam on a summer vacation. They encounter the young Dominic, while young Jay tells a horror story similar to young Dominic's future situation. As young Dominic shows up, he gets bullied by the young Jay, Paul, Adam, and Kat. They dare Dominic, and gets abducted by his new father. A new scene then shows that Dominic grows up in his teens, and as he has arguments with his father, he searches the secret room his father has. He discovers that his father was lying to him about his mother abandoning him, and cretins killed his son Henry as well as Dominic's parents. Dominic tries to run away, but his father catches him. Dominic kicks his father and kills him. The captives convene on how to find a way to apologize to Dominic after all this suffering because of their bullying. The captives apologize to Dominic, but in response, Dominic tortures them. They experience the same things they did to Dominic when they were kids. Adam gets tortured with a worm in his eye. Then Kat and Jay accidentally kill Adam. Kat becomes guilty and Dominic grabs her from behind. They are having a conversation about Dominic's past. Suddenly, Kat gives birth to many baby spiders. Jay tries to mercy shoot Kat, but Dominic kills her first. Dominic remembers his father's indoctrination in his childhood, and he slowly turns insane. Dominic urges Jay to kill him before it's too late. Dominic goes insane and Jay kills him. The authorities give Jay a ride home to his wife and daughters. Later on, we could see Jay's daughters grown up and drinking in the forest with their friends. Dominic abducts them, and the movie ends there. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your fun for today.